South Carolina is holding a runoff election today as part of the race to replace Lindsey Graham. The late senator's sister, incumbent Darline Graham, is running against Congressman Ralph Norman, I should say. They advanced to today's runoff after receiving the most votes in this month's special primary election. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us live from Columbia, South Carolina, with more on this interesting race. Ed, good morning. The key question, who is expected to come out on top today despite Lindsey Graham's recent flubs, and why?
Well, Errol, it's hard to know because we've never really had a contest like this before. A runoff election in a special primary election to replace a late senator who so far has been succeeded by his sister. Darline Graham facing Ralph Norman, as you said. She prevailed with a plurality in the primary 2 weeks ago, but Norman was right behind her. We'll see whether ultimately she's been able to pull this off. This is a big priority for the White House. The president was down here last Friday night, held a telephone town hall for her last night. This race, however, took a bit of a turn last week when in a debate, Darline Graham was asked whether Taiwan and the South China Sea are key national security concerns for the United States. And she admitted, unlike her brother, she's just not that informed on national security. Then she said yesterday that in her conversations with voters ever since, they're much more focused on domestic concerns like the cost of living and affordability. Well, we asked her about that. Take a listen.
I completely trust the president when it comes to tariffs. I know tariffs are hard and not everybody likes them, but they're a great negotiating tool. And I think he's got our best interest in mind, so he's using it as a tool to help our country. So I completely trust President Trump on the tariffs.
And is there something you do affirmatively, some piece of legislation to help drive down the cost of things?
We'll see when I get there.
Thing is, she's been there in the U.S. Senate since she was appointed to the seat in July. So interesting that she didn't have a specific idea on what she would do to drive down the cost of things, even though she says that is a top voter concern, Errol.
It's a top voter concern as far as what we're seeing from polling, Ed. And I want to kind of zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture, especially in Michigan's Senate race, because Democratic nominee Abdul El-Sayed is distancing himself from an influential left-wing influencer named Hasan Piker. He's got millions of followers. What's happening there, and what does that mean for Democrats?
It's what Piker said last week about Jewish people that has Democrats now in damage control mode. He said last week, the idea that Jews are monolithic is, quote, a very dangerous mode of propaganda. And he added, if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, but against Americans. So Republicans quickly seized on this and pointed to his associations with Piker. He campaigned with El-Sayed during the primary and defended Piker in his statements, but then yesterday in a statement reiterated that he denounces anti-Semitism and said again in his statement, quote, his commitment to Jewish safety is the same as my commitment to the safety of my own daughters. His Republican opponent, Mike Rogers, criticized the Democrats' attempt to distance himself from Piker, calling El-Sayed a, quote, con man. Piker, we should point out, says the backlash is, quote, a Republican smear campaign. A war of words, but on a critical issue and concern for voters across the country, anti-Semitism, especially acute in Michigan, given it has a pretty active politically Jewish population, but also the largest Arab American, Muslim American population there outside Detroit and in Dearborn. So one to watch as this continues. Piker's influence over the Democratic Party, quite significant given he has millions of followers across social media and has campaigned with other progressives or socialist-backed candidates this summer. We'll see to what extent he's engaged through the fall.
Fascinating things happening all over the place, and Ed O'Keefe is across all of it. Ed, thank you very much.